Hi guys, it's Debbie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you some of the layouts that I've worked on for the past month or 6 weeks or so. I believe there's 14 layouts here. I wanted to share them before I put them away because I want to get working on my next project and I need to put them away. So this one is based on the sketch from Allison Davis. She's doing a class over at Scrapbook and Cards today. Sketches for 2024, I think it's called, and this was the January sketch. So that is my youngest grandson. Yeah, he's my youngest grandson. I have a new granddaughter who's the youngest grandchild, but he's the youngest grandson. So this was his first birthday. This one is from Fancy Pants, and it is based on a sketch from Allison Davis. This is part of the Creating with Sketches YouTube hop that I participate in with a bunch of other crafters. So you can see this up on my YouTube page if you want to see the process video. It went up live February 1st, so you can go back and look at that. This one I do not have a video for. This is just one that I did while hanging out with my friends here. We get together pretty much every weekend to scrapbook, and so when we're together, I don't film, obviously. So these are just some of the pages that I've done that are not on camera, but this was, it's actually more about the story than the photos. I had to download the photos from Google Image because I didn't have any photos, but it's a story about how my husband, he's not really tech savvy. He's kind of old school, and so we were going on a cruise, and he didn't know anything about how Uber worked, and he didn't know that everything was handled through the app. So when we got to the pier, he asked me if he owed the driver anything, but I didn't hear him because I was talking to the porter. So he just gave the guy 20 bucks. And after we got into the building, he said to me, "Was I supposed to pay that guy?" And I said, "No, I did it through the app." And he's like, "Oh, well, I just gave him 20 bucks. I'm like, "Yeah, well, I paid him through the app and gave him a tip through the app. So our ride just cost us, it was supposed to be 11 bucks. It cost us 36. Anyway, I'm sure the guy was really happy, and, he has to pay for his Tesla, so, it's all good, I guess. This one, there is a process video. This was my April YouTube hop for Creating with Sketches, so you can see that if you go back to April 1st. It's using Recollections paper and 49 in Market products for embellishments. This one is using Ancient Little Yellow Bicycle paper. I had this teen line that I got back when my boys were teens, and I'm ashamed to say that my oldest son is now 35. So that tells you how long I've had this product. It's actually from 2010. And this was a concert that I went to see Tom Petty. It was an awesome concert, and I really wanted to use this paper where it says live, but I saw it as live, perfect for the concert, and all of these little embellishments and everything came from that teen line. This one is one of my grandsons. He is my little Italian grandson. And so for his first birthday, instead of doing a cake smash, his mom decided to do a spaghetti photo shoot. And so these pictures I just thought were adorable. And I ended up making the background, the colors of the Italian flag. And I used my Cricut to cut out the pot and the chef's hat, and they had a fork on there, and then this was what I could do for spaghetti. So I thought that was cute. I ended up using some Cricut cuts, some really old thickers, foam thickers, and the only pattern paper that I used was this to mat it. So I really like this one. It's very simple, but I enjoyed it. This is my newest grandchild. This is Ariella, and she was born, obviously, March 4th, so she's brand new. I used some Pinkfresh product on this. The paper pad is actually from Paper Studio at Hobby Lobby, but the cut file and the Jeff alphabet are from Pinkfresh Studio. And then for the alpha, I actually fussy cut itty bitty flowers. Not sure if those will show up on there, but I thought I had one that I cut out and it landed on the letter as I was putting it together, and I thought, gee, that looks really cute. So I went back and cut enough to do the whole title. So yeah, a lot of work on this one. I backed the cut file. I did some ink splatters in the same color. I believe it was picked raspberry oxide. And there's some fussy cutting of these florals just to kind of tie the whole page together. This one is from 30 Days of Sketches at Christie's Beautiful Life, Series 14. This was day 10. Yeah, so the sketch was by Sarah Davies, and I really love this one. I ended up going monochromatic with it, and it's just, again, a very simple page, but I really like the simple and clean. You'll see some of my pages are not simple and clean, but this really speaks to me. This one is from a Make It With Me Monday with Paige Evans. She did a live video where she used this cut file and made a page using her products. And I do have a process video for this. It was from a couple of weeks ago, so I guess the beginning of March 2024. You can find that on my YouTube page. This one, I just really liked the design and the softness of the papers. And I loved this owl and the little giraffes. So, and I matched up some oxide ink to the colors of the paper. This one was very recent. This is also from 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life. This was day 23, and it was Jessica Michael's sketch. So this one is one of my favorite Simple Stories lines, and I do have a process video up on the page. This is Simple Stories Home and Hearth, I believe. Hearth and Home? I think it's Home and Hearth. And I have made several layouts using this collection, and I love it, and the colors went so well with the photos. This one is another Allison Davis sketch. This is the sketch that she provided for Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine, their spring 2024 edition, and I ended up using, it's all Simple Stories products. It's an older line. I believe it's Simple Vintage Botanicals was the name of it, and the frame may have come from a different Simple Vintage line. I'm not sure if it was from Botanicals or another one, but I did use some of these pieces came from Vintage Garden, I think it was called. No, Indigo Garden. I don't believe there's a process video for this. I think I did this off camera. So, and used some Graphic 45 dies to put that together. This one was fun. My grandson is just learning his personality, and he's learning that he can make all kinds of faces, and he's Mr. Personality. So when I saw the pictures of him making these faces, I immediately thought of the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes, and I did a quick search for a cartoon layout with him where he makes the faces, and he says, "Mom says if I keep making this face, it will freeze like this forever." And Hobbes says to him, "You really think so?" And he says, "It's worth a try." And I just thought, yep, that's him. This is using Pinkfresh. It's their Simply the Best line, which it's one of my favorites. I actually love this collection because they don't do a whole lot of masculine collections, but these colors really worked out. I think it's more of an outdoorsy line, but it has a lot of pieces that are good for masculine layouts. This is from a kit. This is 49 in Market, one of their page kits. And the way they do it is they give you a pre-printed layout, which you can use, and pay no attention to my washi tape that's on there holding the twine on there. So the page, one side comes already pre-printed as your layout. This is what it's supposed to look like. Then the other side is just the background paper with all of the laser cut and chipboard elements. So I changed it up, obviously. I didn't care for the font that they used for this awesome. It didn't seem to fit the aesthetic of the page. So I ended up moving all of my stuff up to cover that up, and then just kind of played around with the embellishments and added my own twine on there. But I do enjoy this. Their page kits are phenomenal. They come with so much stuff. And like I said, you have the option of doing the whole dimensional page, or if you want, you can just stick your photos on the page that's already printed, and you've got a quick and easy page. This one here is the last one that I did. There is no video for this. I just did this the other day, hanging out in my craft room. These are all of my grandkids on Easter, and we were trying to get a picture, and let me tell you, when you have 4 kids that are 4 years and under, it is not easy to get them all to sit down at the same time, and getting them to all look at the camera, impossible. But this was really sweet. We put Ariella down so that the boys could hold her, and they were all just looking at her, and it was just so sweet. I thought, yeah, these guys are going to be there for her and be her protector as she grows up. So I decided not to go with the Easter theme. I ended up pulling the colors from the photo and using this older Jen Hadfield line, which is Live and Let Grow. So that's what I've been up to for the last few weeks. I have a couple of more layouts that I've done, but they have videos that will be going up for the YouTube hop, so I'm not going to share those until those videos go live. And I have a couple of challenges that I'm going to be working on, and who knows what else. So I've been a little busy, but it's fun stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I always appreciate that, and I will see you in the next video.